And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. You're good right there, Doctor. And joining us in studio this morning from Lovelace Regional Hospital, Dr. Rebecca Webb with us. Good morning, Doctor. How are you doing today?
Good.
I should turn on your mic. That's always an important key to getting those things done.
Thank you.
So, first of all, thank you for taking some time to talk to us. I know the life of a doctor, especially at 9:19 in the morning, is usually probably pretty busy. Seeing patients and taking care of things. So I'll get her back as soon as I can, guys. I promise. Don't wait too long for her.
Yeah, totally.
But, of course, for those that aren't familiar, Dr. Webb, pediatrician.
Yes.
So you deal with the children. And obviously this time of year, not that we're always looking at children's health, but with back to school going, it's kind of a busy time of year for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Getting their back to school physicals, sports physicals, things like make sure their immunizations are up to date.
Yes.
COVID vaccines are in the works on this one this year too, depending on the age of your children and things like that. But the main thing we want to remind folks is first, if you need a physical for your child for back to school or sports physicals, Lovelace, $30. You go in, they'll give you a physical. Typically, insurances don't always cover physicals, so it's out of pocket or don't cover
sports physicals.
Sports physicals, I'm sorry. Yes. So that's kind of an out-of-pocket expense. So Love's is saying, okay, well, we'll just hit you like your copay, basically $30, and your child can come in and get their sports physical, and that's all you're paying. And so that's a good time to get that scheduled sooner rather than later. People, I know we're the land of mañana. We're just by nature. But just kind of, because I imagine you've got a lot of parents with a lot of questions right now when they're coming to see you, whether it's the general health stuff to probably all this COVID because to be honest, it feels like you talk to 12 different people and get 12 different answers on all this kind of stuff here. So first off, what's some of the questions and things that your parents are asking you right now about this, and what kind of responses are you giving them?
So specifically for COVID?
Yeah, like what kind of questions, concerns they're having right now?
Sure. I mean, I just bring it up and ask them what their concerns are and address them. Let them know what's available and, for the age group and the different types of vaccines, sort of thing. Most of my parents are vaccinated, that come in. And so.
And we're all vaccinated here in case anybody asks.
Yeah, we're double vaxxed.
Yes.
So, with the sports physical, especially the older kids that are in high school and are going to be traveling on a team and have intense, close physical contact, I do recommend it for them to consider. It's always a choice, obviously.
Now, and I know it's different types of the vaccine have different age requirements and things, but is Pfizer the one that's been approved for the under 12 or up to 12?
Pfizer, and I thought Moderna was also.
Okay, I couldn't remember. There was one or two that were full in there.
It gets updated so frequently.
So what's the youngest that they're saying you can vaccinate some kids?
So
now?
My understanding right now, unless they updated overnight, was 12.
Okay. So they're not doing any under 12. And I'm guessing it's under a special circumstance or some kind of immune related issue that they would do it to the child.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So now obviously, when we talk about and this is the part that's funny is that we do this every year anyway. I mean, we're adding a COVID and, we're talking masks and stuff,
right.
but the facts are that if your child doesn't have all their immunizations, and their shot records aren't up to date, they have problems at school letting them into school and getting those stuff done. So please, if they're not up to date, go get these immunizations. And trust me, that it's all for the benefit of your child. I mean, I know there's been years of people trying to talk about immunizations and trying to and every single one of those people have those rumors, that science has shot it all down.
Yeah.
Science is proven that your children benefit from the vaccines.
Yeah.
If they do not have them, they are running the risk of all the problems that, these vaccines, immunizations, basically have almost caused extinction on the planet for some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time someone said, you don't have polio? I mean, that's what we're talking about here, and it's because of these immunizations.
Yeah.
The reason, and I'm not trying to get a history lessons here, but there was a huge outbreak of this stuff years ago, and so these immunizations come to be, and now because of that, these things are very either non-existent or extremely rare, and so that's all due to immunizations and immunizations only. So please, have your children immunized. It's the best for your children. It's the best for your neighbors' kids too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, for all of us, grandparents, all of that. Yeah. So it was MMR that was linked a lot to, I think, the autism concern, and so we were seeing pockets of outbreak of measles in communities where the vaccination rate was low, and so then the carriage rate in the community is high.
Sure.
And then the most at risk, the very young and the very old, can then contract, the illness. So
and be realized if kids and people get measles, they can die from this stuff.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
It's not just something. It's not like back when we were kids.
Yeah.
Chicken pox was one of those things they said. You almost rub kids on each other to get it over with.
Right.
You don't want to mess with measles and stuff like that.
Parties,
yeah. You don't want that. This is bad business.
Yeah.
And that's why they have these immunizations that child takes it and
we're good.
You're good to go. You don't have to worry about this stuff. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, part of a sports physical or an annual physical is just reviewing the shot record and making sure up to date. Or did you start a series and forgot to finish it, which happens to all of us. Just the whole record. And those records are actually available to the parent through the NIMSIS website. It's the New Mexico immunization site.
Okay.
But your doctor can help you find that.
Yeah. New Mexico Department of Health, they keep you. I think if you're a resident of New Mexico, and they have access to your shot records.
Yeah, just like the school, can look. It's not HIPAA protected information.
So you don't have to physically go bring the card with you, I guess, anymore.
Yeah, it's all on the famous interwebs. Yeah.
All I can think of is my military days. Like they give you your shot records in that little yellow form.
The little
you had to carry it around like a passport or something.
Yeah. I miss them actually. Yeah. We had the little trifold, for parents, and
they're great if you're responsible.
They're great. Yeah.
If you're not, then
but
not
if you're
so
not,
much.
Exactly. Like where to go. So so sports physicals, we're seeing a lot of.
Sure. Get them booked now. Don't wait on that.
Yeah, exactly. And we just go through risk, health history,
And they're pretty quick and easy. They're not
quick and pretty painless. Yeah. Or if your child needs refill on medications that they take on a regular basis for any reason, allergies, asthma, that sort of thing, you need permission slips to have those at school. And so it's a process and takes a bit to get all that paperwork, ready, set, go. So
absolutely, and of course, for folks that hadn't heard, the state actually issued their mandates for mask wearing and all that in the schools. Basically, they're falling along the lines. If you're in an elementary side of things, if you're an adult or a child, vaccinated or not, you're wearing a mask. In the secondary and high school, if you are vaccinated, you pretty much don't have to wear the mask.
Mm-hmm.
If you're unvaccinated, you continue to wear the mask. The exception to the rule is outdoors. If there's outdoor events, sporting events, no one has to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because you spread out. But so remember that when we go to the fall
school.
here. And I know people have their opinions, mask or not mask. We can have that debate all day. But there is enough evidence to prove that if you are unvaccinated and you're and the mask will help protect you and others from spreading.
Yeah, just like it does influenza. So,
exactly.
And it was interesting as we all became, the world opened up again, and so then we started seeing all those common illnesses. There was an outbreak of RSV, oddly, in Texas, and things that we hadn't seen for a while because we'd all been home, locked down, and wearing masks. So
that's funny you say that because my wife and I were talking about that. Just a while ago, and my wife is a school teacher.
Oh, nice.
And so, prior to this, kids by nature they get everything. It's the schools are community of germs.
They share. They share a lot.
So my wife, it gets cold. Every year we're getting colds and everything else, but. Since all the COVID, neither one of us, cold issues, not one of those things.
And oddly in pediatrics, we're basically like an infectious disease clinic, and a well visit, because kids get sick all the time.
Sure.
And oddly, I never wore a mask, around sick kids. I just I just felt it would be off-putting to the
Intimidating.
child
Yeah.
and all of that. But I'm definitely going to wear a mask because it protects me.
Sure.
And it protects you if I've seen an ill child and maybe I'm starting to come down with something.
Sure.
You come in for a well visit.
Yeah.
I don't want to overly share with you, so during visits, even if for me,
Sure.
even though I'm immunized, I want to protect everybody from just
be
the common cold.
Absolutely.
Or,
It's kind of nice not having a cold every once in a
It
while.
is. It is. It's been hard on us,
Sure.
because nobody got sick.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it really explains, because allergies, seasonal allergies and things. Now I'm like, that's definitely seasonal allergy. It ain't cold. It ain't COVID. I'm
Right.
like, this is, and then I take my Claritin or whatever, and it goes away. But
Yeah.
it definitely helps isolate those kind of things.
It does. It does. Yeah.
But families, please, if you need a pediatrician, if you're maybe
Shopping.
starting a new family
Yeah.
here and doing
Yeah.
all that, and don't forget, pediatricians, because we always think of small children when it comes to medical needs, and if your child's under 18, they're seeing a pediatrician. So 16, 17, even though they're still talk and start acting adult like, they still fall in, because their bodies are still developing. They're still, it's kind of like this is just, I know we're getting off topic, but it kind of makes sense. We talk about, now you're seeing marijuana being legalized everywhere and everything else, and adults, and I know everyone's got their thoughts one way or another, smoking, whatever. But one thing that's universal, children, when their bodies are still developing, and this is up in your 20s, the effects of the marijuana can really hinder your certain growth and certain things. It's really, once you're a full-grown adult, then you make decisions to do that. That's on you. But you're really, really hurting your future as a child doing these things.
Yeah. You want your brain to continue to develop, and those years as late teenage, adolescent to early adulthood years are very important actually for your frontal lobe thinking part of your brain. So, I just say, just
pass on grass.
Only put good, healthy, things in your body for the moment, and you can save that for later. You gotta save something.
And that's
later.
the point. I mean, you can have your thoughts on all of that, drink and not drink. I mean, yes, but this is why we restrict young, because your body there's a lot going on in that first 20 some years of your life. And you don't want anything in there that can stunt, change, or hurt that. Right. Because, okay, maybe it's not a problem now, but guess what? When you're in your 40s, some problem might develop that they could stem back to saying, that use there it's laid the groundwork for this to be here today. And that's just our bodies and life and how it works sometimes. Yeah,
just keep it simple.
Yeah. So when the teenagers start asking those questions, that's why it's there.
Yeah. So we just, we kind of try and review those things with teens and, risky behavior sorts of things, wear your seatbelt, common sense stuff.
Kind of bringing it back just so with sports physicals and your annual school physical, I guess you could say, what's the difference in as far as what you do as the doctor and checking and looking for? I imagine they're pretty close.
I think they're pretty close. I think in a sports physical, I always go through a longer history of any injuries.
Okay. I didn't know if you looked at joints and things more. Or...
Check the joints, check all of that sort of thing. See, because a lot of young kids and young teens have backaches and shoulder problems and all of that, and make sure they're getting the right training and help, if they're having any problems
especially if they're athletic and they're doing the athletic. I mean, it's just like, I mean, they heal faster than we adults do, but they pull muscles and twist.
And you don't want to develop chronic injuries in your teenage years that are definitely going to affect you in your 40s.
And this is back to the point. Sorry, kids, I hate to pick on you like this, but when we talk about stretching and all those things that they say to do before exercise
and after.
Yeah, and after. You're absolutely right. Yeah. But okay, when you're young, you feel like that doesn't benefit me. But if you keep doing that now in your teens and 20s and 30s, when you're in your 40s and 50s, when people complain their hips and knees and ankles and all these things, you're not going to have as many of those issues because, well, you limbered up beforehand and your body, you gave your proper prep for your body and proper cool down afterwards for your body. So
So just that history, any other health history, family history that as they get older, we need to look at or do screenings for cholesterol, thyroid, any of those things.
Of course, by that time, I don't know if they look at it as exercise. They're just doing their thing. Like when we were kids, you're playing kickball or baseball or sports. We didn't look at it as exercising. We just were playing sports. So
which is good fun and really
absolutely
important.
Well, that you're setting the table for your adult life by doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is something any medical expert will tell you is we form habits when we're young, and those habits will sit with you for your life. The types of food you like, the types of activities you like. You're laying the groundwork for that as a child.
Yeah.
And so when you're an adult, when life starts getting in there and other things happen, you still have those enjoyments and maintain. I loved playing soccer as a kid. I'm going to keep doing that, or at least kick the ball around in the backyard with my kids.
There you go.
Do those kind of things. So, so kids, stay active, stay healthy. I know it's fun to be lazy. I get you.
Yeah.
I love a good lazy session as much as the next person, but you're really setting the table now. The running, all the exercise and things you're getting now will benefit you when you're an adult.
And for, many kids who were at home, for a long year, or the vast majority of it, they got deconditioned a bit,
It's easy to get in your routines.
Like most of us,
I think I might put a little bit or two
might
on
be a little going on there. And so I'm just so thrilled and happy that kids get to go back to school. It's so important to be in that community for them, their development and learning and everything.
And I would imagine too, in parents, talk to Dr. Webb when you're visiting here. If you're looking for ideas to do, because I always think, especially with the kids, to get them active, you almost have to do it as a family thing. So if you're looking for activities and things, I'm sure Dr. Webb will be like, hey, look, we got families all the time telling me stuff. I'd be happy to share tips and things with you and all that. All those are, when we talk about the kids' health, it's all really family health. It's everybody.
It is.
We're all interconnected. So what we eat, we
kids
tend to
learn
eat together.
from what we do.
Yeah, it's part of that. So if you're looking for those ideas to help get kids out of the gaming systems and out in the backyard or out at the park doing stuff, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The rec center, the aquatic center, lots of great stuff for them, and they've got now you can rent bikes and ride the trails and stuff out there.
Nice.
I think that's a great family activity. All of it good for your kids, good for yourself, and everybody else too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, don't forget, now's the time to be getting your sports physicals. And if you go through Lovelace, you can call her office direct, 575-625-3222. That's the number I got off the website there, I think. Is that a different number?
627
Okay.
4200.
627-420. All right, I pulled the one off your office on the thing here.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you call or go online to Lovelace,
Sure.
and you can book an appointment. $30 for the sports physicals. You're in and out the door. Like we said earlier, generally insurance providers don't provide the coverage for sports physicals.
Yeah.
Annual and everything else, that's part of the preventative side, but sports side, not so much. So $30, which is basically your copay. Get that, sign up. But here's, like I said, schools I think practices have already started for sports physicals and things. I imagine football, they're probably talking 2 a days here pretty quick if they're not already doing that stuff. So you're a little behind the 8 ball, but go ahead and get the appointment done. Let's get it happen. If you got to do both, let's knock them all out at once. Back to school.
Bring your forms with you if you have forms for your sports physical.
Yeah, talk to your coaches. They have them, or talk to your school principals for any of that information. Or I imagine you could probably get them off the RESD website if you need to. I don't know. But get that done and get those sports physicals. And really, if you have questions, this is what the doctor's there for. If you have concerns or you have questions about, going back to school here, let her talk to you and give you facts, give you information that I know we live in a world where information's all over the place. The problem with that is the information isn't always good information. And therefore you need to go to places you trust. And you can always trust a doctor in the hospital. They've kind of been trained for all this.
We have.
Kind of what they call experts on these things.
Well,
well, that's a whole nother debate for another day.
I'm like,
we've had those debates with like the CEOs and those higher ups. I've always been that one. It's like, when did insurance companies dictate medical procedures.
Yeah,
And
I
get you're paying for it, but you know what? You're not qualified to tell me what's best for my body. The person who just examined me is.
Yeah.
That's the one. But anyway.
Another day.
Another story for another day.
Story, for sure.
What's that phone number one more time to call for the physicals?
627-4200.
4200. 627-4200. If you go to Lovelace.com, you'll find everything. You can, if you want to learn more about Dr. Webb, you'll find bio, find everything.
Yep.
And of course, if you're looking for any other services, Lovelace can help you there too. So if you don't have any kids, but you got, or maybe you need to see, the gastro people or the heart people or the joint people. I know those are highly technical medical terms, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And by the way, is this? I got to ask this question. I know you have your own office. You're probably not at the hospital so much, are you?
No, I'm not. Well, I go to the hospital
pretty often for surgeries
babies. To see babies.
Okay, check in
that were born.
So my question is the cafeteria open yet to the public? Can we get burritos out of there yet? I know that's a thing, people.
I know, because they're so good.
Yeah.
Our cafeteria is definitely open.
Okay.
I know that.
I know the doctors and staff go in there.
But our moms and before, our moms and dads couldn't go down, that sort of. But they can now, family and eat and.
And I ain't gonna lie, the biggest miss in all of COVID was you couldn't go to the Lovelace cafeteria and get burritos.
Yeah, because they have epic world. Yeah,
they do. They're great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you're like, hospital food? Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, you can just be like, I'm here to get my labs done.
And you're kind of like, I don't have anything wrong. I'm just going to eat lunch at the hospital today.
Yeah. Totally. We should have been doing more takeout. Yeah.
Very good. Doctor, is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to get a chance to cover, or anything we skipped or missed?
No, I think that's it. Just feel free to ask any question that's on your mind.
And just a quick reminder, we're going to talk about this on, is it Friday? Yeah, I think it's Friday. Breastfeeding awareness week. I'm not sure what is next. It starts next week.
Coming up.
So we're gonna have someone in on Friday from Lovelace talking about all of that. So kind of in the same vein with kids, but talking about the importance of breastfeeding. The
beginning part.
Reminding, yes. Yeah. When they're 18, you should not be doing it anymore. That's not recommended.
No.
But tune in Friday. We're gonna talk more about
good information
about breastfeeding and reminding folks the importance of that and all that stuff. So just kind of tune in for that.
Totally.
Very good. Well, thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
We'll let you get back to the office, and maybe you can swing in and grab one of those burritos before you see your first.
You just give me your order.
I don't think any patient would mind if you walked into the examining room with a burrito in your hand. You might need to bring two.
Half for you. Half for
share.
Me. Share.
That would be good. Yeah. So thank you, Doctor.
We
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. It is 9:42. Let's pause for local